I always believe, I really do believe, the only constant in life is change, and it's how open we are to that change depends on how successful we are. Don't matter how successful you've been, things can just turn. I think one thing that's going to turn for this sport is how people consume media, how the broadcasting deal works. We've seen it now that in 5 years' time, I don't think there'll be the same kind of influx money-wise from Sky. So we've got to have a rethink, and there's lots of things within the game. We are in a flux of change as a game. In my opinion, everybody's got to work harder.
I'm not going to disagree with that. Hard work is, where most successes come from. There's not very often. It's just comes through minimum effort. Almost always it comes down to big efforts and good work ethic. I just think it's time for a freshen up. I'm saying that about my club.
Yeah.
They need a new face, a new voice,
Did you think
a new leader.
Time for a new voice?
Yeah, and some new ideas. It's right for this club to do that, and I think it's right for the team and to get that, and it's the right time for me, so I can go and do some of the things that I want to do, and that will set my passions alight again in terms of my career. So it's important, but I think that for the sport too. Yeah. That's what I've been saying lately. I'm saying it because I'm leaving soon, and I'm maybe leaving the sport for a while. Who knows? I might get my passion back for it and want to come back and be involved again. And by the way, I've got no inkling about running the sport or don't want to be involved in that. But I do know that it needs to freshen up. It needs some new dynamics, some new ideas, some new promotions, and just some new direction. And I was a big supporter and fan of Richard Lewis. I thought he did tremendous work for our sport. He gave us some credibility. He got it back in order. He got the business running smoothly and in a respectable way. And I think that played a big part. And it was the right time for Richard to leave as well. It was, he'd done his job and he moved on. I think we need to, really consider style and rules of play and how they've affected us. And, I think there's a certain element of that we're way too conservative in the way we play. It's almost, that you've got to play the odds rather than take risk. And, and I'll even go as far as to say, with all, the modern training techniques and that, we've probably got too many people on the park nowadays. If there was less people on the rugby pitch, you may actually take more risk. We cover the park so easily, and so it's in our own interest to not make a mistake, kick the ball into the far corner and see if the opposition can go the length of the field. It all becomes, hey, listen, I'm going to put in an exception there. I reckon Cass have played some real good style of rugby league this year, and I admire what they've done with the players that they've got. They've done exceptionally well, but I reckon the rest of us have probably been way too conservative, and the rules are almost set that if you make mistakes, well, game over.
I had a great meeting with Nigel Wood up at our offices, and he showed us a clip of Tina Turner, and he said this sport really needs a Tina Turner moment. Something to kind of change the whole outlook, so more people.
I know. I met her. It was after one of our grand finals. Yeah.
What was it like meeting Tina Turner?
We just lost the grand final, so I couldn't have given two flying wombats. Which is a shame because I so much wanted to meet her, but the misery of losing a grand final overshadowed even meeting Tina Turner. But listen, I understand some of that. It was a great promotion at the right time.
Yeah,
and
that's what he says we need now.
Yeah,
he says we need something now to reinvigorate.
Yeah,
the market.
He's not far off. He's not far off in that respect. It was the administrators that hired Tina Turner to do that ad. That's what we want.
Yeah.
That's actually what we want. It's not the Tina Turner.
Yeah.
It's the somebody.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's the somebody that's got the
vision.
The vision, the know who it
money.
Is.
Must have cost a lot of money.
The money, but the vision of who it is and what it is that we actually need. It's got to have a fit.
Yeah.
You know, and her songs had a fit, her style had a fit to rugby league.
Yeah.
You know, she was raunchy and she had that real passion. But I'm going to say to you, it wasn't just about her. The real smarts was the person that hired her, or the people who were coming up with those thoughts. It's all well and good to say, yeah, I'd like to do that like they did, but it's coming up with
like
that.
Bradford back in the day. What was
Absolutely.
What was his name?
Pete Deacon.
Pete Deacon, yeah.
Absolutely.
And he just had
Absolutely.
the vision, and he had, fantastic bloke, and he did something different.
And we need some of that dynamics within our sport. That's what I'm been saying in the last couple of weeks, and we're ready for that, our sport, I think, and who that is, who knows.
Well, you've got Marwan Kukash, who is on one end of the scale. Sam Moran is very much the complete opposite. We sat in the barn. I wanted to do it in here because in 2015 this opened, and this facility has been major for the club, major for the community, and it's one of them things where Simon Moran, who's done very well for himself, but ultimately is a fan, and is a chairman that will want success, and I suppose demand success because of the levels he sets himself in his own business. But how is he being? Because from a music perspective, I know Simon is a tough man to work for. I know that firsthand from working for people that work for him. But what's he like to work for in rugby, and what kind of a bloke is he to deal with for you in your role?
He's terrific. He's been terrific. We've had a really good relationship. I think he's probably found it more awkward coming up to having to make a tough decision together. By the end of it, I think he's found that difficult because he's a very loyal man. I understand, that he is very successful in his business, but I think if you work hard for him, he respects that and repays that in his respect as well. I was going to mention Simon. I was also going to mention Gary Hetherington. Terrific fellow, and who's been a huge part of our sport for many years. He's a great ideas man and a great visionary in many respects.
Do you think someone like that needs to help run the game a bit more?
I'm not sure that Gary's right for that now. At certain stages in his career, I think he has. Yeah. I think from behind the scenes almost and pulled the strings. But that's just a hunch. But he's been very good at that, and he's been great for our sport. He was really good to work for. He gave me a lot of freedom within the environment that I worked with him, and he picked what I was capable of and gave me room to do that. He supported where I needed to. Gary's he was a good boss to have. He was supportive, and he like all of us had some frailties on here and there, but I think we helped each other with our strengths and weaknesses, and that was a good partnership as well.
It's been an absolute pleasure to get to know you and to spend quite a bit of time with you in the last couple of years. Our journey at rugby wouldn't be anywhere near as interesting without you for a show. And I wish you every luck and success in it, whatever you do. And hopefully this game can get back to where it needs to be. That's my hope. Mine too.
It's given me so much in terms of pleasure in my life. I've been doing it since I was 6-year-old. Professionally for, I don't know, let me add it up, 38 years or something professionally. So I care about it. It saddens me to talk about it in the way that I do. But I'm doing what you're doing, speaking honestly about it. And I'm also doing a little bit of it on behalf of how some of us are feeling within the game too. And there's some people who can't say what they actually feel, for reasons I mentioned before. So, I only hope that this game goes on to be great. I think you do a great job, and what you're doing in the promotions last week, a couple of weeks ago with that game was unreal. To get 6,000 there on a Wednesday night, unreal. That's promotion. That's picking your audience. That's promoting things well. Keep up the good work.